Inverted question marks and exclamation marks or exclamation points are punctuation marks used to begin interrogative and exclamatory sentences, respectively, in written Spanish and sometimes also in languages which have cultural ties with Spanish, such as in older standards of Galician and the Waray language. They can also be combined in several ways to express the combination of a question and surprise or disbelief. The initial marks are normally mirrored at the end of the sentence or clause by the common marks used in most other languages. Unlike the ending marks, which are printed along the baseline of a sentence, the inverted marks actually descend below the line. Inverted marks were originally recommended by the Real Academia Española in 1754, and adopted gradually over the next century. On computers, inverted marks are supported by various standards, including ISO 8859-1, Unicode, and HTML. They can be entered directly on keyboards designed for Spanish-speaking countries, or via alternative methods on other keyboards. Usage. The inverted question mark is a punctuation mark written before the first letter of an interrogative sentence or clause to indicate that a question follows. It is an inverted form of the standard symbol, recognized by speakers of languages written with the Latin alphabet. In most languages, a single question mark is used, and only at the end of an interrogative sentence. How old are you? Quote. This was once true of the Spanish language. The inverted question mark was adopted long after the Real Academia's decision, published in the second edition of La Ortografía de la Real Academia in 1754, recommending it as the symbol indicating the beginning of a question. In written Spanish, Cuentos Anostians. The Real Academia also ordered the same inverted symbol system for statements of exclamation, using the symbols "d" and quote. This helps to recognize questions and exclamations in long sentences. Do you like summer? And you like summer are translated respectively as Te gusta el verano and Te gusta el verano. These new rules were slowly adopted. There exist 19th-century books in which the writer does not use either opening symbol, neither the nor the, in sentences that are both declarative and interrogative. The clause that asks a question is isolated with the starting symbol inverted question mark. For example, en el caso de que no puedas hallar con ellos, quieres hallar con nosotros. Some writers omit the inverted question mark in the case of a short unambiguous question such as "Quien vien?" This is the criterion in Catalan. Certain Catalan language authorities, such as Joan Soler, insist that both the opening and closing question marks be used for clarity. Some Spanish language writers, among them Nobel laureate Pablo Neruda, refused to use the inverted question mark. It is common in internet chat rooms and instant messaging now to use only the single as an ending symbol for a question, since it saves typing time. Using most keyboard layouts, it is easier to type the closing symbol than the opening inverted symbol. Multiple closing symbols are used for emphasis, por que acute dices eso, instead of the standard por que acute dices eso. Some may also use the ending symbol for both beginning and ending, giving por que acute dices eso. Given the informal setting, this might be unimportant. However, teachers see this as a problem, fearing and claiming that contemporary young people are inappropriately and incorrectly extending the practice to academic homework and essays. Unspoken uncertainty is expressed in writing with and surprise with but single interrogative and exclamatory symbols are also used. History. In 1668, John Wilkins proposed using the inverted exclamation mark as a symbol at the end of a sentence to denote irony. He was one of many, including Desiderius or Erasmus, who felt there was a need for such a punctuation mark, but Wilkins's proposal, as was true with the other attempts, all failed to take hold. Mixtures of question marks and exclamation points. Although it has now become rare, it is correct usage in Spanish to begin a sentence with an opening inverted exclamation mark and end it with a question mark, or vice versa, for statements that are questions but also have a clear sense of exclamation or surprise, such as, "Why tu quiente crees que eres?" Normally, 4 signs are used, always with one type in the outer side and the other in the inner side. Unicode 5.1 also includes U+2E18 inverted interrobang, which is an inverted version of the interrobang, an uncommonly used punctuation mark used to denote both excitement and a question in just one glyph. Computer usage, encodings, and are both located within the Unicode common block, and are both inherited from ISO 8859-1. Has Unicode code point U+00A1 and HTML named entity reference and AMP IEXCL. Has Unicode code point U+00BF and has HTML named entity reference and AMP request. In both cases, the I in the named entity reference is an initialism for inverted input methods. Is available in all keyboard layouts for Spanish-speaking countries. Users of English keyboards under Microsoft Windows can obtain the inverted question mark using the Alt code method by holding down the Alt key and pressing 0191 6824 or 168 on the number pad and the inverted exclamation mark with number pad code 0161 or 173. In Microsoft Word, the inverted question and exclamation marks can be typed by holding down the Control, Alt, and Shift keys while typing a normal question or exclamation mark, or by typing either mark at the start of the sentence whilst in the Spanish language mode. Windows users with a US keyboard layout are able to switch to the US International layout. Among other changes, this converts the Alt key to the right of the spacebar into the Alt-GR key. When the right Alt key is held down and other keys are pressed, the combination produces other characters not found on the standard US keyboard. For instance, the keystroke right Alt 1 produces an inverted exclamation mark, while right Alt yields the inverted question marks K. Input methods for OS X on the OS X platform, and can be entered by pressing Alt+1 and Shift+Alt+ respectively, with a compose key, for example, and LT, left shift and GT, plus and LT, right control and GT. They can be entered by pressing the compose key and or twice. And for AZERTY keyboards, the shortcut is FN plus Alt plus. Input methods for LaTeX. In LaTeX documents, the is written as and as use in file names. In Windows, an inverted question mark is accepted for to be used in a file or directory name instead of the normal one, which is a reserved character.